The secret of a happy relationship is not luck, chemistry, or finding the perfect person. Happiness in love is built, not found. It comes from emotional safety, consistency, and intentional effort, not chaos or constant excitement. When two people choose clarity, responsibility, and growth every day, love stops feeling uncertain and starts feeling secure. Happiness in a relationship is not something you find one day and then keep forever without effort. It's not hidden inside a person, a moment, or a feeling, and this is where many people get disappointed. They enter relationships believing happiness will automatically show up if the connection feels strong enough. But happiness doesn't arrive on its own. It's built slowly and intentionally by the choices you make every day. When people say, "I just want to be happy," what they often mean is, "I want things to feel easy." But happiness and ease are not the same thing. Real happiness in a relationship comes from stability, trust, and emotional safety, not from constant excitement. And those things don't appear by accident. They are created through effort, awareness, and consistency. A lot of relationships fail because people expect happiness to carry them instead of realizing they have to carry happiness. They stop showing up once the initial excitement fades. They assume love should feel the same forever without adjustment. But happiness is not a feeling you chase. It's an environment you build. It's built in how you speak to each other when you're tired. It's built in how you handle disagreement without disrespect. It's built in how safe your partner feels being honest with you. If your relationship only feels good when everything is going right, then happiness hasn't been built, it's just visiting. Happiness grows when both people take responsibility for the energy they bring into the relationship. You don't wait for your partner to change your mood. You don't expect them to fix what you refuse to face within yourself. You understand that your emotional habits matter, your tone matters, your reactions matter. People often say, "You make me happy," but real happiness sounds more like, "We create happiness together." That shift changes everything. It removes pressure from one person and places responsibility where it belongs, on the relationship as a shared space. Building happiness also means letting go of unrealistic expectations. No relationship is happy all the time. There will be stress, there will be misunderstandings, there will be moments of frustration. Happiness doesn't mean the absence of problems. It means having the skills to handle them without damaging the connection. Too many couples think something is wrong the moment things feel hard, but difficulty doesn't mean failure. It means growth is required. Happiness deepens when both people are willing to adapt instead of giving up. Another hard truth is that happiness requires emotional maturity. You can't build a happy relationship if you avoid accountability, refuse feedback, or shut down when things get uncomfortable. Happiness needs honesty. It needs self-awareness. It needs the ability to say, "I was wrong," without turning it into a fight. Happiness is built when appreciation is expressed, not assumed. When effort is noticed, not taken for granted. When presence is valued more than perfection, small, consistent acts of care matter more than occasional grand gestures. And here's something most people overlook. Happiness is fragile when it's based on external factors. Looks fade, circumstances change, life gets busy. If happiness is built only on attraction or convenience, it won't last. But when it's built on respect, trust, and emotional safety, it becomes resilient. You don't build happiness by ignoring problems. You build it by addressing them early, calmly, and honestly. You don't protect happiness by avoiding conflict. You protect it by learning how to handle conflict with maturity. Happiness also grows when both people feel seen and valued for who they are, not who they're expected to be. When individuality is respected, when growth is encouraged, when love doesn't require shrinking or pretending. The truth is, happy relationships are not lucky relationships. They are intentional ones. They are built by people who understand that love is not just a feeling, it's a responsibility. Happiness is not found in a person. It's created by two people who choose to build it every single day. Emotional safety matters more than constant excitement, and this is something many people don't realize until they've been exhausted by relationships that feel intense but unstable. Excitement is easy to confuse with happiness, especially early on. The highs feel incredible, the connection feels electric, and everything seems alive. But excitement without emotional safety doesn't lead to peace, it leads to anxiety. A happy relationship is not one where you're always on edge, wondering where you stand. It's not one where love feels strong one day and uncertain the next. Emotional safety is what allows happiness to last, because it gives you something excitement never can: stability. Emotional safety means you feel secure being yourself. You don't walk on eggshells. You don't rehearse your words out of fear. You don't hide parts of who you are just to keep the connection alive. You know you can speak honestly without being punished, dismissed, or made to feel small. When emotional safety is missing, people shrink, they overthink, they suppress their needs, they stay quiet to avoid conflict. And over time, that silence turns into distance, not because love disappeared, but because it didn't feel safe to express it fully. Many couples chase excitement because emotional safety feels boring at first. There are no dramatic highs or lows, no emotional chaos. But what they don't understand is that calm is not boredom, it's peace. And peace is what allows love to deepen instead of burnout. A relationship built on constant excitement often relies on unpredictability. You don't know what mood your partner will be in. You don't know how a conversation will go. You don't know if honesty will be met with understanding or anger. That uncertainty keeps emotions high, but it also keeps trust low. Emotional safety, on the other hand, creates confidence. Confidence to be vulnerable, confidence to be honest, confidence to grow together. When you feel emotionally safe, you're not constantly protecting yourself, you're opening yourself. Safety doesn't mean the absence of conflict. Healthy relationships still have disagreements, but emotional safety changes how conflict is handled. Instead of attacking, there's listening. Instead of shutting down, there's communication. Instead of fear, there's reassurance that the relationship can withstand hard moments. A key part of emotional safety is predictability, not routines, but emotional consistency, knowing that respect doesn't disappear during stress, knowing that love doesn't get withdrawn during disagreement, knowing that mistakes won't be used as weapons later. People often underestimate how powerful that consistency is. It allows your nervous system to relax. It allows your heart to trust. It allows happiness to grow without fear of collapse. Another important part of emotional safety is validation. Not agreement, but acknowledgement. Feeling heard doesn't require your partner to see things exactly your way. It requires them to care about how you feel. When someone validates your experience, they're saying your feelings matter here. Without emotional safety, even love can feel lonely. You can be close to someone physically and still feel unseen emotionally. That's why excitement alone is never enough. Excitement fades, safety stays. Emotional safety also requires accountability. When someone hurts you, they don't dismiss it. They don't minimize it. They don't tell you you're too sensitive. They take responsibility. That response builds trust far more than apologies ever could. And let's be honest, emotional safety requires maturity from both people. It requires managing emotions instead of letting emotions control behavior. It requires choosing respect even when frustrated. It requires patience, self-awareness, and restraint. You don't feel safe with someone who explodes emotionally, withdraws affection, or uses silence as punishment. Those behaviors create fear, not love, and fear cannot coexist with happiness. Happy relationships don't feel like emotional roller coasters. They feel steady, supportive, grounded. You feel stronger with the person, not weaker. You feel calmer, not constantly alert. Excitement can draw people together, but emotional safety is what keeps them together. Without it, happiness has no foundation to stand on. Because when love feels safe, happiness doesn't have to fight to survive. It has space to grow. Consistency is one of the most overlooked elements of a happy relationship, yet it's one of the most powerful. People often chase intensity because it feels exciting and emotionally charged. The highs feel unforgettable. But intensity without consistency doesn't create happiness. It creates emotional instability, and over time that instability becomes exhausting. Anyone can show up when emotions are high. Anyone can be loving when it's convenient, when things are going well, or when they're trying to impress. Consistency is what shows up when there's no spotlight, no adrenaline, and no immediate reward, and that's where real happiness is built. A relationship doesn't need constant excitement to feel alive. It needs reliability. It needs to feel steady. It needs to feel safe enough that you're not questioning intentions, commitment, or effort every other day. When love is consistent, you stop guessing, and when you stop guessing, peace replaces anxiety. Inconsistent love keeps people on edge. One day there's attention, affection, and reassurance. The next day there's distance, silence, or emotional withdrawal. That unpredictability can feel intense, but it slowly erodes trust. Happiness cannot grow where trust is unstable. Consistency means your partner knows what version of you they're getting. It means respect doesn't disappear during conflict. Care doesn't vanish when stress shows up. Effort doesn't depend on mood. You don't love loudly one day and quietly the next without explanation. This doesn't mean you never have off days. It means your values don't change when your emotions do. It means you still communicate, you still show care, you still take responsibility. That stability creates emotional safety, which is essential for happiness. Many people mistake consistency for boredom because it lacks drama, but drama is not depth. Drama is often a sign of unresolved emotional patterns. Consistency is calm, and calm allows love to deepen without fear. Happiness in a relationship doesn't come from being constantly entertained. It comes from feeling secure. Feeling secure enough to be yourself, secure enough to plan a future, secure enough to trust that love won't disappear the moment things get uncomfortable. Consistency also shows in how conflict is handled. Happy relationships don't avoid disagreements, but they handle them in familiar, respectful ways. No sudden threats, no emotional games, no drastic shifts in behavior, just communication, patience, and effort to resolve rather than escalate. Another aspect of consistency is follow-through. Words lose meaning without action. Promises lose value when they're broken repeatedly. Consistent behavior builds credibility, and credibility is what makes love believable. People often say they want excitement, but what they really want is reassurance. They want to know that love is stable, that effort is mutual, that commitment is real. Consistency provides that reassurance without needing constant affirmation. Inconsistent relationships force people to overthink. They analyze texts, tones, and timing. They question their worth. They wonder what they did wrong. Consistent relationships allow people to relax, and relaxed love is healthier love. Consistency also builds trust over time, not overnight but gradually through repeated actions, through showing up. Through doing what you say you will do. Trust doesn't need intensity, it needs reliability. If you want a happy relationship, stop asking how to make things more exciting and start asking how to make things more stable. Stability doesn't kill passion, it supports it. Passion thrives when it's not constantly threatened by uncertainty. Intensity fades when life gets real. Consistency remains, and happiness grows where consistency lives. Because love that shows up the same way day after day is the kind of love that lasts, a happy relationship doesn't grow on its own. It grows through intentional daily effort, not occasional motivation or temporary emotion. This is where many people fall short. They believe love should carry itself once commitment is established. They assume effort is only required at the beginning. But happiness fades the moment effort becomes optional. Daily effort is not about doing something grand or dramatic. It's about consistency in the small things. It's about how you show up when no one is watching, how you speak when you're stressed, how you respond when you're tired. Those moments reveal how intentional your love really is. Intentional effort means you don't take your partner for granted. You don't assume they'll always understand. You don't assume they'll always stay. You treat the relationship like something valuable, not something guaranteed. And when people feel valued, happiness grows naturally. Many relationships lose happiness not because of betrayal or major conflict, but because of neglect. Attention fades, appreciation disappears, conversations become shallow, effort becomes minimal. None of this happens suddenly. It happens quietly, day by day, when intention is replaced by routine. Daily effort means checking in emotionally, not just physically. It means asking how your partner is really doing and actually listening to the answer. It means noticing changes in energy, tone, or mood and caring enough to ask about them. Love weakens when people stop paying attention. Effort also shows in how you manage conflict. You don't avoid it. You don't escalate it. You approach it with the intention to understand, not to win. Happy relationships aren't free of conflict. They're free of careless handling of conflict. Intentional love means choosing patience when frustration would be easier, choosing calm when reaction would feel satisfying, choosing respect even when emotions are high. These choices don't always feel rewarding in the moment, but they protect happiness long term. Daily effort also includes appreciation, saying thank you, acknowledging effort, recognizing growth. People often assume their partner knows they're appreciated, but unspoken appreciation is easily forgotten. Gratitude keeps love alive because it reminds both people why the relationship matters. Another important part of effort is adaptability. People grow, life changes. What worked before may not work now. Intentional effort means being willing to adjust instead of insisting things stay the same. Happiness doesn't come from rigidity, it comes from flexibility supported by commitment. Effort also means making time. Time is one of the clearest expressions of love, not just being around each other, but being present. Distraction sends a message. Presence sends a different one. When someone feels prioritized, happiness strengthens. Daily effort requires discipline, not the rigid kind, but the kind that chooses love even when motivation is low. There will be days when you don't feel like showing up, days when life feels heavy, days when connection feels distant. Effort is choosing to show up anyway. This doesn't mean ignoring your own needs or burning yourself out. Healthy effort is balanced, it's mutual, it's sustainable. One-sided effort leads to resentment, not happiness. That's why happy relationships require two people who are both committed to showing up. Intentional effort also means repairing when things go wrong. Apologizing sincerely, making adjustments, learning from mistakes. Happiness grows when people feel safe knowing that mistakes won't destroy the relationship. People often wait for motivation to put in effort, but motivation is unreliable. Commitment is what carries effort forward. And commitment is proven in actions, not words. Happiness is not created in big moments alone, it's built in the ordinary ones. In the repeated choices to care, to listen, to show up, and to grow together. A happy relationship lasts because both people choose it every single day.